Good morning, students. Lesson 7th unit, Impact on Polity. This is the continuation. Today we are going to see about the society. Society, caste. It is the most distinctive of Indian society. Fourfold divisions were known as Varna. It created mythical genealogy found in many manuscripts. Next one, religion. Much were established. Saivic movements came up. Saiva Siddhanta and Veera Saivas were spread in Karnataka. Buddhism and Jainism faded away. Bhakti movement was started by Shankara and Ramanuja. Simultaneously, St. Thomas spread Christianity in Kerala. St. Francis Xavier spread Christianity in Tuticorin, and Robert T. Noble spread Christianity in Madurai. Guru Nanak also founded the Sikhism. Zoroastrians migrated from Persia and settled in India, particularly in Gujarat, Surat and Bombay. Then literature, art and architecture. Literature played an important role during this period. Kamba wrote Ramayana in Tamil, Shekila Periyapuranam, Ottakuttas, Moovarula and Kalingettu Parani. Then important one, Thirukkural and Silappatikaram, Manimegala, etc. You have already studied epics. Chola period, monumental architecture. Example, Tanjore, Belakeshwara temple, Gangakonda Cholapuram, Tarasuram. During the Mughal period, Shah Jahan period, he was the builder of builders. He built Taj Mahal, one of the wonders of the world. He also established Shah Jahanabad, now presently known as Delhi, and he also built Fatehpur Sikri, etc. And during the Akbar's period, the famous musician was Tansen. He named Hindustani music, for example, Tansen. Next one, agriculture. Agriculture is the primary sector. It is the backbone of India. We are seeing in Tamil Nadu construction of dams, tanks and canals and reservoirs for irrigation. Example for grains are rice, wheat and millets. In South India, spices also cultivated. Example, pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, etc. Next one, non-agricultural production. Up to the end of the 17th century, India was one of the largest manufacturing countries in the world, though the economy was primarily agricultural. Non-agricultural production refers to both processed agricultural products and crop production. Primarily, the products can be grouped under processed agricultural products like sugar, oil, textile, metalwork, precious gems and jewellery, shipbuilding, ornamental wood and leather work, and many other minor products. Next one, textile. Cotton textile, growth of cotton textile industry. It is the secondary textile industry comes under secondary sector. Next, 7.5, commerce. The large manufacturing sector essentially produces goods for exchange and not for self-use. Therefore, India had an extensive network of trade for marketing these goods. The village was the basic geographical unit of production and was essentially subsistence economy, and barter was the medium of exchange. Big cities were usually major commercial centers with bazaars and shops. They were also intermediate points in inter-regional trade since they were connectively by network of roads to other centers in other parts of the country. Maritime trade across the Indian Ocean, extending from China in the east to Africa, the west, had flourished for many centuries. Thus, ports like Malacca, Calicut, etc. were interports or intermediate points in this regionally segmented trade in the 17th century. Surat in Gujarat, Masulipatnam, the Golconda Kingdom, Chittagong in Bengal, Pulicat, and Nagapattinam on the Coromandel coast and Calicut in Kerala were all the major ports in Asiatic trade. India was also a major exporter of textiles, paper, precious and semi-precious gems, especially diamonds which were then found only in India, and iron and steel which were greatly in demand in the entire Asian region. Textiles accounted for nearly 90% of the total export from India. The major imports from China and the East were silk, Chinese ceramics, gold, spice, aromatic woods and camphor, silk, drugs, dye, woods, sugar were main imports from Persia, while gold, ivory and slaves were brought in from East Africa. Then urbanization, travelers coming to India in the medieval period noted that there were a number of urban centers for various sizes, from cities to small market towns throughout India. Though the country was primarily rural, the urban population was probably quite small as proportion of the total, but it had an economic and cultural significance which was much greater than its actual size. So let us do the conclusion. The medieval period, covering more than 700 years of Indian history, was a time when monuments, changes took places in the political landscape, which also transferred the social and economic fabric of the country. So, this is the end of the lesson. Students were requested to read the lesson at home and find the answer to the question. Thank you, students.